Would you like your Ram truck mirrors to do this? If you've been looking for power folding towing mirrors for your 5th gen Ram 2500, look no further than Boost Auto. What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I have another modification that I'll be doing on my 2022 Ram 2500 Cummins. And what we're going to be installing today is a set of power folding towing mirrors. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's get it done. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is my lifted 2022 Ram 2500 Cummins. And what we're going to be doing today is swapping out the factory towing mirrors with a new set of power folding towing mirrors from a company called Boost Auto. Now they have all kinds of products available for your truck, so I definitely recommend checking out their website and seeing what they might have for you. But I opted to go with a new set of towing mirrors with the power folding feature added to it. Now these are power mirrors up here, but these little mirrors here are just manual. But this mirror here is power, but the folding of the mirror is manual. So you pretty much have to like push it with your hand to get it to rotate like that, which the manual folding is not always easy and convenient to use depending on the situation you're in. So if you happen to be pulling in a tight parking spot, leaning from the driver's side out to this mirror to fold it in is not easy to do. If you're driving down the road and you see another big truck coming down the other side and you don't want to chance them hitting your mirrors, you don't have to roll down your window and grab your mirror and pull it in or anything like that. There's just a lot of convenient benefits to having power folding mirrors. And being that this is a Bighorn model, it did not come with power folding mirrors, but we're gonna be adding them today from Boost Auto. So this really shouldn't be a super hard install. On the passenger side and the driver side, you typically just have to remove your door panel here, which is pretty simple. You just got to get a little pry tool in here and pop out this little cover here because there's a bolt behind there. You'll have to use a pry tool to pop out this power window plate here, pop that out and disconnect the harness. You'll use your pry tool here to pop this corner piece off. There'll be some bolts behind there holding the mirror on. And then you have some star bit bolts down around the perimeter of your door panel here, like that. You take those out. Once you've disconnected your panels and your harnesses and your bolts, all you have to do is lift this door panel up so that the door panel pops up over top of your door lock here, pull it up and pull it out of the way. Now there still might be some harnesses on the back you'll have to disconnect. So don't just pick it up and rip it off. Pick it up gently, move it out of the way, look behind, see if there's any harnesses to unplug. Once you've unplugged your harnesses, this door panel should pop off and just move to the side, and we'll have to do that on both sides. But before we start doing that, let's go ahead and unbox the new Boost Auto power folding towing mirrors for the 5th gen Ram 2500, and let's see what they look like. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this box up. Now again, depending on what your mirror needs are, if you need power mirrors or depending on what color you want your marker lights on your mirrors, whether you want them like an amber color or white or a switchback, and if you want defrost in there, you can add all these features to these particular mirrors. Okay, it looks like they come in 2 separate boxes. Okay, so we got the first box here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Now they're probably going to look pretty similar to your factory mirrors, but these are going to have some better features compared to the factory mirrors. They do come nicely packaged. They come bubble wrapped. They come with some nice foam inserts. Let's move that box out of the way. Comes with a nice cover on here. And this is basically what they look like here. Okay, so very similar. You do have the ability to fold them up just like your typical towing mirrors. You still have a manual bottom mirror. The top mirror is going to be power, and I did make sure that they added the defrost function in here as well because my mirrors have the defrost function. This is what the back looks like here. Has all the wiring harnesses, everything you need. And if we look at the bottom over here, okay, I went with the smoked corner lens with white LEDs. So these are going to be switchback lights so that during the day they are going to glow white, and then when you obviously use your turn signals they're going to blink amber. but they are gonna have a daytime running white LED because I do plan on swapping out the bulbs on my cab lights on the roof to white LEDs as well. But that's basically what the mirror looks like. Looks like a good quality mirror. So let me go ahead and start unboxing the other one, and let's jump into this install. And real quick, I forgot to mention, when opening up the second box, it did come with a nice Boost Auto decal. So if you're into decals, it comes with that. They did send me, it looks like a nice t-shirt from Boost Auto and all of the additional wiring harnesses. That looks like it has your wire modules here, like this. So we'll get into all that shortly here. So now, let me get a few things situated here, and then we're gonna start working on taking off the door panels on our passenger side and our driver's side. Once we get those door panels removed, we're gonna hop into this install. So I'll be right back in a minute. Okay, so we're back. And once you take your outer perimeter bolts out, they're just little plastic bolts like this. Okay, so just be very careful. They're just plastic with plastic plugs. Okay, so you need to take those out. If you happen to have like a plug removal tool or a trim removal tool, you can use those as well. Then you're gonna pop this little panel piece out from in here, just with a little screwdriver. That'll expose that bolt in there. You're gonna take your hand or a screwdriver and pop this big panel off, which is sitting right over here. Again, just push clips here. And then just go ahead and grab a pry tool, get down under here, pop that out and wedge that out. Once you wedge this out, you can unplug this harness. So let me keep working on this and we'll be right back. Now lift up so that you clear your lock button there, and then slide it forward, and there you go. So actually on the passenger side, there was no more additional plugs. Now, while we're over here on the passenger side, what we're going to do is take the wire that's coming from the actual mirror, and we're gonna come down here, trace it down. Okay, so there's 3 plugs right here. So you have your bottom green, your black in the middle, and the white is at the top. So all we're going to do is unplug those, push in the little tabs on the side, and just pop them out, just like that. Use a pry tool, pop your plug out. Same thing above, just get a little pry tool in there, pop that out. Now the mirror is ready to be uninstalled. Okay, so I just went ahead and lowered my window because I'm working out here by myself. So once you take these bolts out, that mirror on the outside is gonna fall over. So basically what I'm trying to do is remove these 2 bolts while holding the mirror with my other hand from inside the window so that it doesn't fall. And then we'll just have to pull our plug harness through this little foam channel here and take off the mirror. Again, I have one hand on the mirror right here to stop it from falling, so just be aware of that. Yeah, that's it. Pull your harnesses through, and now we've just completely removed our factory mirror. Okay, so that was pretty easy. So you don't have to remove this bracket here. I did just to see what's behind there. So again, 3 little bolts, not a big deal. So you're gonna have the 2 nuts on the back over here, and then you're gonna have 1 nut over here. Once you take those 3 nuts off, your whole mirror pops off the back, pull your harness through the hole, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so now that we got the factory mirror taken off, if we come to the outside over here and take a look, I would definitely recommend at this time, clean this whole area off, just get some detail spray, wash it off, clean it up real good, because the last thing you wanna do is trap any dirt or debris behind the new mirror. And then once that's cleaned up, we're just going to take our new passenger side Boost Auto towing mirror here. We're gonna slide the bolts through from the outside, put the nuts on the inside. Again, you're gonna pull your harnesses through the bottom bigger hole here, and we're just gonna get that mounted. Once we get that mounted, then we're gonna pause on the passenger side, and then we're gonna head over to the driver's side and do the same exact thing. So let me start working on that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So I did go ahead and mount the new Boost Auto mirror right up to its factory position after I cleaned that little area off. Now real quick, just to show you what the mirror looks like. Does look really good. The side mirror here can fold up or fold down, but these will be power folding mirrors once we get everything hooked up. I do have the smoked out lens switchback lights here, which will go daytime running lights white and the turn signals will blink amber. You do have your lights down over here just as you did from factory, and I do have the defrost mirrors as well. So everything looks good, everything seems to fit, everything seems to work. Okay, so now we're on the driver's side. Same thing as we did on the passenger side. You're going to have to remove this panel in here to access that bolt, pop up your instrument panel here to unplug the harness, take off this panel here, which again, very simple to pop off. Probably just grab that here now. There we go. Pop that off. So that's done. Unplug all of the little plastic bolts from the outside perimeter of the door panel. Lift the door panel up. So let me start working on that and we'll be right back. Okay, so the same thing with the driver's side door. Now that we got the panel off, we have to trace our mirror wire down to its harness over here. And it looks like there's three. There's gonna be the bottom green, the black, the white. Those will be the three we have to unplug. So just make a mental note that it's the white, black, and green, or just take a picture with your phone so that you don't forget later where these harnesses go. Unplug those three there. Again, take your pry tool, pop out that harness there, pop out that harness there. Okay. So now we have our driver's side factory mirror removed and out of the way. So let's set that aside, wash this area off, clean it up, stick the new mirror in, bolt it back in the way we unbolted the factory one. Make sure you pull your harness through the big hole here at the bottom. And then once we get that done, then we can start working on our wiring. So we're on the driver's side and we got our new mirror installed up above. So next, what we want to do is plug in our mirror back to the control module here where we originally unplugged them. Now they are keyed to go in a specific way. So I believe the green was at the bottom. Okay. I believe the black was in the middle. Okay, and then we'll take the white one to the top. Okay, so now that we got the mirror plugged back in, we can come over here. We can take a look at our harnesses. So here are all your wire harnesses. So you have your two control modules here. You have a wire tap for your fuse box, and there are some other wire harnesses here. Okay, so after you get your wire harnesses unraveled, okay, the passenger side control module is just going to have one plug. So you're going to plug one of your wire harnesses into the control module there. So this passenger one will have your fuse block up here. When you pull all the wires out to the edge, you're going to have the two red wires and the two black plugs like that. The driver's side has two plug openings. There's going to be a wire harness that has the two white connectors. That'll plug into the right side, and then you're going to plug the other harness into the left side, which comes with, again, your fuse block. You come down here to the very end, and you're going to see it has the two red disconnects right here and there, and then it's also going to have the two black harnesses like that. So that's basically what those wire harnesses are going to look like there. So if we come back over to our door, this is where we're going to start connecting some of these wires. On the right side of the door module over here, the second plug up, the white plug right there, we're going to unplug that one. It's in there. There we go. Then what we want to do is try to untape some of these wires here. Now you can try to look for the edge. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so you just want to go ahead and expose some of those wires just like that by peeling back some of that tape on the harness we just unplugged. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is add a tap to pin location 1. Now you want to make sure you're paying attention to the pin location because the color of the wire in your truck might be slightly different. So on my truck here with the plug as it's sitting just like this, my number 1 pin location is black. So we're going to add a tap to the black wire, just like this. Then I'm just going to pinch that shut. Okay. So we got our tap on the black wire, which would be pin location 1. Then we're going to add another tap to pin location 5, which again, sitting like this with the white button to the left, pin location 5 at the very bottom is red. So we're going to add another tap on the red wire here at the bottom. Okay. So now we got our tap on pin location 1 on black, and we added a tap to pin location 5 on this harness, which was red. Okay, now we're going to take our driver's side boost auto harness here, and we're going to look for our red wires. There's 2 red taps. One is red, one is black. So then you're going to take your red wire with the red tap there and tap it into this one, which has the red wire there. So slide that in. Make sure you push it all the way in. Then take the black wire with the red tap, slide that into the blue tap on the black wire. There you go. So make sure it's fully connected. Then coming off the module here, that separate harness here that has the 2 white plugs, you're going to plug those in to the mirror harnesses up here that are 2 white ones. Now they're keyed so they can only go in one way. So we're just going to slide that in like that, clip it in. This one here is going to slide in to this harness over here, just like that. Then once you get those connectors up there, you come back down to the bottom harness over here. Then coming from the control box, the blue and yellow wire here with the black connector is going to plug into this blue and yellow wire with the black connector. So go ahead and connect those. Okay, just like that. So now we should be good to plug our original white harness back in over here to the middle, just like that. And I just wanted to point out this particular orange with orange black stripe wire, this is not going to be needed on this application. Okay, so we're just going to basically hold that out of the way and we'll tape it up later. We're not going to be using that wire. Now at this point here, now is a good time to start cleaning up your wires, and then we're going to zip tie them out of the way off to the side. So just kind of grab some of your wires. If you want to use some electrical tape to tape them up, that's fine, tape them up, and we're going to zip tie them to the door and get them all out of the way. So let me start working on that before we move on to the next step. Okay, so now that we have our wires electrical taped and zip tied out of the way, if you're going to be running the daytime running light here or the switchback lighting like I did, we need to run the power wire for that. So to do that, we're going to have to come over here on the inside of your driver's side door, pull back this weather stripping a little bit just like that, and take out these 2 Torx bit screws right here and then right down here. We have to disconnect this harness so we can get into our wire over here so that we can start running our wire. So let me start doing that and we'll be right back. Okay, so once you get the 2 Torx bit removed out of the side and you can move this harness freely here, you need to pull out the rubber boot from the cab side, which there's going to be 2 clips. As you can see, here's a clip here, clip over there, and 2 on the bottom. If you just get in there with maybe a long screwdriver, you could go ahead and pop those clips so that you could pull the harness out. You will have to shut the door a little bit like this to give yourself more room in the back. So when you pull the door in like that, it gives you more space to pull this harness out, because we are going to need to access this area here. So the next thing you want to do is unplug your harnesses back here, which are just little pinch tabs. Unplug them from your harness plug here. Once you do that, you can pull this whole assembly underneath the weather stripping here so that you have more room to work with. Because what we're trying to do now is take this orange wire and we're going to plug it into the harness over here that has the white harness with the orange wire. We're going to plug that in, but we need to run this wire all the way through this harness to get inside the cab so that the wire won't be exposed. So to do that, it's really not that hard. You just have to get a little pry tool here, pry up these little tabs. Just be careful you don't cut yourself on the metal, to remove this cover. Okay? Just like that. All right, now we can actually start working on hooking up our orange wire to our orange harness here, and use a coat hanger or something that you can actually run through the middle portion of this harness here to go through the boot and pop out through here so that you can grab your orange wire and pull it through the boot and pull it out here. So let me start working on that and we'll be right back. Okay, so all I did was I used an old antenna from that I usually keep around for instances like this, and I shoved the antenna through the harness coming out the bottom of the boot here. Then I connected my orange wire to the harness, and then I ran my orange harness through the plastic housing here, and then just used some electrical tape to tape it to the end of the antenna. Now, the goal is to be able to pull the orange wire through the boot, and then we're going to just basically pull all of our excess wire through just like that. All right. Okay. So once you get all your wire pulled through, we can go ahead and reconnect our cover plate here. So just go ahead, stick that in at the front, and then we're going to go ahead and reconnect it down here. Just like that. Okay. So now at this point here, we're going to take our harness and our wire and pull it back underneath the weather stripping over here, because then we have to go ahead and reconnect our harnesses back into the main harness here. So once we get that done, don't bolt anything in yet, just go ahead and get that done. Then we're gonna have to work on taking out our kick plate down here so that we can pull our wire through the bottom. So let me work on that and I'll be right back. Okay, so once you get your harness back underneath the weather stripping and you get your plugs plugged back in, we're just gonna pause on that for now. Then you need to take off your kick plate trim panel, which just looks like that. Just grab it, pop it up, it'll pop right out. Then under here, if I can get under there enough, there's a little tab right here. You could use your pry tool and pop that tab out. Just like that. Because up there, if you see that little hole right where I'm pointing, that's where we're gonna pull our wire through. So let me start working on that and I'll be right back. Okay, so once you go ahead and pull your orange wire through the cab wall here, underneath where we opened up that opening right there, okay? Just be very careful you don't cut the wire. Once you pull that through, then we can go ahead, tape up our retaining clip here as it once was. We're just gonna wrap tape around that nice and tight. We're gonna put our boot, lock it back in, put our Torx screws back in, and get that all mounted back up. So let me work on that and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back on the passenger side. Now again, we're basically doing the same thing on the passenger side in terms of the wiring harness as we did on the driver's side over there. So again, you're going to start with unplugging your middle white harness right here, which is on the right side of your door module right there. Unplug that, add your T-tap to position 1, which was black on my truck, and position 5, which was red on my truck. And then you're going to take your power module here, use your black, red tap into the black wire, the red tap to the red wire, and then you're going to connect the other side of the harness here, which had the blue and yellow wire, to the blue and yellow wire harness coming off of your mirror, okay? And then make sure you plug in your green, black, and white harnesses to the door module here as it was before. Then you're going to take your orange wire harness, connect it to your orange wire. After you've disconnected your door plug harness over here, just like we did before, okay, you're going to go behind the weather stripping, use a coat hanger to pull your orange wire through the actual harness, and then you're going to come through the door, take your kick plate off again, pull your orange wire through the wall over here, and then I just pulled the retaining clips to take this panel down, because from the driver's side over there, I ran my antenna right here under the dash from the driver's side over to here, which we're going to pull the orange wire all the way across, because we got to get both orange wires over there. So again, you're just doing the same thing on the passenger side as you did on the driver's side. Once you get everything hooked up, electrical tape your wires, zip tie them out of the way, put your door plug harnesses all back in, put your kick plates back in, and we'll be done with the passenger door. Because now at this point, once I get all this cleaned up and we get our orange wires underneath the driver's side, then we just have to tap into the fuse box and then we should be almost done with this install. So let me get working on cleaning this all back up and we'll be right back. Okay, so once you get your passenger side done and you get your orange wire and you run it underneath the dash and you bring it over to here. Okay, so on the left hand here is going to be my longer piece of wire from my driver's side door. This shorter piece of wire is coming from the passenger door. Basically what we have to do is cut them about right here, and you're keeping the longer excess wire from the driver's side door. But you're going to cut them because we need to splice these two wires here above my hand right here. We need to splice two of those into one wire, which we're going to have to run that one wire through the firewall of the front of the cab here up to where our fuse box is. So let me work on that and we'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and I got my two wires coming from my modules spliced into one wire with a solder connector in the middle into one wire. I ran that wire up under there through the firewall. I just used a little razor blade to cut a small hole through that rubber grommet, and then I used my antenna or coat hanger, whatever you have, to poke through there, taped my orange wire to it to pull it through. Now I have my orange wire pulled up through here, through the firewall down there, and this is where we're gonna have to run it where we want to, cut it so that we can splice in our fuse tap to plug into the fuse box. So let me start working on that and I'll be right back. Okay, so if we come up here under the hood, this is our fuse panel here. Again, you just take the top plate off and there are labels on the bottom that labels all of your fuses. So just be aware your fuse diagram layout might be slightly different. Now, I did go ahead, pull my wire through. I still have to route it around the back, and I tapped into a fuse tap, which comes in the kit. And then I ended up going with, I believe, this fuse right here. So if you count up 1, 2, 3, 4, count over the big green ones, 1, 2, and then down to this one right here, because they recommend using the 79 slot. I'm using basically that open slot right there. I pulled the fuse out, I slid that blue fuse into my tap, and then I'm sticking my tap right down in there just like that. So we're going to try that. Now, once you do that, you can start going back through and putting your trim panels back together. Just make sure all of your wires are out of the way. Put your kick plate panels back in, and then we have to reinstall our door panels and hook back up our harness to our switches on the door on both sides. So let's go do that next, and then we'll check out to see how this works. So I'll be right back in a minute. Okay, so we got the driver's side door all put back together. All the panels are put back together and we're good. We're finishing up on the passenger side, but I did want to just take a quick second to mention, be mindful of where you're putting your wire harnesses out of the way. Make sure you're putting your module down a little lower, maybe zip tie it to this particular wire here, but just try to locate your wire harnesses and your module down low out of the way, because when you put your door panel back on, there could be door panels like this down here, and your module could be in the way from your door panel attaching correctly. So if you try to put your door panel on and it feels like it's tight or it's not lining up or it's just pushing away from the door too much, go back under and adjust where your harnesses are and where your module is. Once you get them tucked in the right position and zip tied out of the way, your door panel should go on no problem. Okay, so we're in the truck. We got our panels put back on both sides. That's what the mirror looks like there. That's what the mirror looks like over here. Again, the driver's side panels are all hooked up. Everything's back to normal. Now, if you hit the left button there and you use your mirrors left and right, you should be able to adjust your mirror just like that. So the power mirrors are working. Okay, now if we try the right one, look at the mirror over there. Power mirror works. Good to go there. So to activate the power forwarding mirror, you're going to hit the left button just like that. Left, left, right, right on your pad. Left, left, right, right. Now if you press down, the mirrors fold in, just like that. If you want to fold them out, you press up. And they're all folded out. So the power mirrors work, the power folding mirrors work. Let's go out and check out the daytime running lights. Nice bright white LED running light there. Let's try the turn signal. Works there. Let's go look at the passenger side. Light works. Okay, let's try the right turn signal. Switchback turn signal lighting works perfectly fine. So there you go. That's what the new Boost Auto power folding towing mirrors look like. I do like the smoked out switchback lens here that has a daytime white running light, and then it blinks amber when you're using your turn signals. Again, the power mirrors work and the power folding mirrors work. It's just a little tricky getting used to the actual power function. So one more time, hit the left button, left, left, right, right. You hear the two beeps, press down. The power folding mirrors work. Press up. The power folding mirrors fold out. Now again, to adjust your mirrors, you do not have to activate your module. That module is primarily for the folding capability. To use your mirror, you just press the button and fold your mirror. That's fine. But to power folding your mirror, you have to activate the Bluetooth module, which again, left button, left, left, right, right, press down. There you go. Press up to fold out. Simple as that. But there you go, guys. Installation was not that hard. The hardest part for me was at the end, trying to get the harnesses wired out of the way with the control box out of the way so that I can get the door panel back on so that the little hooks on the back of the door panel line up and drop into place. The rest of it is honestly just tedious work. This should probably only take you 2 to 3 hours to do. It took me longer because I'm filming this video and I'm talking through it and I'm showing you guys how to do it. But if you're just doing it on your own, you could probably bang it out in 2 to 3 hours, if that. But again, everything works. The tow mirrors work. I'm really happy with how they look. They look awesome. They function well, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Okay, everybody, so we're finally done. We went ahead, we got the Boost Auto power folding towing mirrors installed on my 2022 Ram 2500. Installation went pretty well. It comes with everything you need to hook this up. All you have to do is take your time. Don't rush it. Take your time and walk through each step of the process like I showed you, and you should have no problem getting this hooked up. But at the end of the day, it works, it functions, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you've been thinking about upgrading to power folding towing mirrors for your truck, I definitely recommend checking out the Boost Auto power folding mirrors because they're a high quality mirror. Installation is really not that hard. They look great, they function great, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope this video helps some of you out. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and like this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments section and I'll get back to you when I can. And also do me a favor, subscribe to the channel because it definitely helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. So that's it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you. I truly appreciate you all. And as always, see you in the next video.